Good afternoon, students. So we'll continue with chapter 9 of history. The first empire and great emperor Ashoka. Okay. So today we are going to discuss the topic. Let me remove this, otherwise this will not come. Okay. So today we are going to discuss the topic Ashoka, unique ruler, and Kalinga War. Kalinga War. So this is the topic which we are going to discuss. Okay. Now, why Ashoka was a unique ruler, that we will understand. Okay. So why he was unique ruler? That is the first question. So he was, and keep your notes. Keep writing your notes so that you will have your notes when I give homework. So he was the first ruler who tried to take his message to people, his message to people through inscriptions. Okay. So as I have already explained in that Dhamma video, Dhamma topic, I have explained, and when we were reading about the capitals, that time also we have discussed that what he did, he used to inscribe the message on the rocks and the pillars so that the people can read those messages. Understood? So he was the first ruler who tried to take his message to the people through inscriptions. That is why he is unique. Understood? Now, most of Ashoka's inscriptions were in Prakrit. As I already explained, Prakrit was the language and which was spoken commonly in the people. People used to speak in Prakrit. That was the common language that time. So, if you see in Janpad and Mahajanpad, what happened? What language was used for this writing ancient text? Sanskrit. Now, Sanskrit was the language of high class people. So, it was not the language for the common people. So, common people did not understand what is written in that. Right. Now, someone have to convey the message. Now, the person who is conveying the message, when you will go ahead, in history, and when you will understand that the person who used to convey this message, how they just manipulated the things. Understood? If something is written in Sanskrit, I know Sanskrit, you don't know Sanskrit, I may tell you anything, and whatever I will tell you, you have to believe that yes, this is written. You don't know, so you have to basically believe on me. If it is written A and I say you this is B, you have to believe that, right? So this may happen if some high class language is being used, or the language which is not for common people is being used. So what he did, he thought about the common people, because basically the message is for common people, so it should reach them in their way, the way they can understand, right? So he thought about the common people. So what he did, he inscribed most of the messages in Prakrit, which was the common language, and it was written in the Brahmi script. Like we have Devanagari script to write Hindi, the same way there was Brahmi script which people used to understand that time. Understood? So this is why Ashoka is considered as a unique ruler, because he thought about the people, and he was the first emperor, first ruler who tried to take his message through the scriptures. And also he used common language of the people, Prakrit, for the inscriptions. And the script was Devanagari. Understood? Hmm. Now next is Ashoka's War of Kalinga. Kalinga. So why this war was very important that we are reading, that we will understand now. Okay. So first of all, we need to understand what is Kalinga, which place is Kalinga. Today we don't have any place called Kalinga. So which place is Kalinga? So it is basically ancient name of coastal Odisha. Now, if this is India, it is like this. So here you will find Kalinga. This is Kalinga. Okay, this area is Kalinga. Now, what happened? If you see the Mauryan Empire, it was I'm sorry, it is traced till here. Okay, almost this part. All over, if you see, the Mauryan Empire was there. They spread all over that part. But this Kalinga was not conquered by the Mauryans, still Ashoka. Understood? Chandragupta tried many times but unable to conquer. Then Bindusara tried, unable to conquer. Why they all wanted this place? They wanted this place because this is a coastal area. Now it was easy to go to these from the sea route, it was easy to go to other places, so it was coastal area, that benefit it was having. Next thing, Kalinga was having more of the forest area. Many forest areas were there under Kalinga, and if forest area is there, they will have the resources like wood, elephant, which was needed that time, right? Honey, wax, those kind of things which they may get from forest. Those things, for those valuable things, and as it was a coastal region, it was easy to go to other places by the water route. So for that purpose, they all wanted to conquer Kalinga. Now, Chandragupta failed, Bindusar failed. Now Ashoka was there. Who is this? That is what I'm telling. No, Varsha, I'm just in the middle and you are asking the questions. Just wait. No. So what happened? When Ashoka got the throne, till 8 years, he was unable to conquer Kalinga. After 8 years, he got Kalinga. Okay. So in that, what happened? There was a war. Ashoka fought a war to conquer Kalinga. Okay. And he won in that. However, he was too horrified, too horrified when he saw violence and bloodshed. And bloodshed. That he decided not to fight any more war. So, if you see, Kalinga was the deadliest war in the history. A lot of bloodshed, a lot of violence was there. Ashoka won the war, but he was horrified when he saw that much of violence and bloodshed. And he decided that he will never fight any war in the future. So, and he is the only king. He is the only king He is the only king in the history of the world who gave up conquest after winning a war. So what happened? He won the war, and after when he saw the bloodshed and violence, he decided he will never fight again. He will never have any war again, and also he gave up the Kalinga after winning. Understood? He gave up the conquest after winning. So he was the only king who has done that. No one leaves after such a fight, after a lot of effort. No one is going to leave the place. Only Ashoka has done that kind of thing in the history of the world. Understood? That is why he is considered as a unique uh, ruler. Any question, anyone? Quickly, if you have any question, be quick. Because it is completed, the chapter is completed. Dhamma of Ashoka, I have already explained, right? So after this, what happened? After this, he went to the path of Dhamma. Understood? Dhamma is basically, in Hindi, it is Dharma. So he started following Buddhism, right? After giving up, he started following Buddhism, and he started following Dhamma. Understood? And he never gave up war. He never fight war after that, but he used to teach his people about the Dhamma. Understood? He thought that winning a people by bloodshed and violence is not good. Better I win the heart of the people by the uh, path of Dhamma. Understood? Going on the path of Dhamma. Doing good deeds. If you win the heart of the people, that is better than killing them and winning them. Understood? That was his belief, and that is why he is unique ruler. Understood? Any question, anyone? Okay. No questions. So please, I'm ending this meeting and sending you one link. Rejoin that one. Okay, quickly, we don't have time.